Jonathan Drago from the Louisiana Culinary Institute. Today we're going to be making a braised pork shoulder tacos with a fresh, heart-healthy slaw. Now for the pork shoulder recipe, here are your ingredients. 1 pork shoulder ranging from weight to anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds. Olive oil, roughly 2 ounces. Salt, about 1 ounce. Pepper, 1.5 ounces. A teaspoon of oregano. 2 chopped carrots and 2 chopped onions. 2 chopped tomatoes, and you're gonna finish it off with beef stock. All right, we're gonna start off by seasoning our pork shoulder. I'm gonna rub it down with olive oil, a little bit of salt, pepper, oregano, and granulated garlic. We're gonna make sure all the seasoning is well rubbed in to the meat and all around it. Then our next step is we're gonna do the searing process. So we're gonna put it in a cast iron skillet, and there you go. A nice sizzle you wanna hear for the caramelization. The pork should take roughly 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So once you think it's right, flip it over, sear both sides and the sides of it, make sure it's all evenly coated. Now the reason we're using a cast iron skillet today is because a cast iron skillet holds your heat a lot better and it aids in the cooking process. And if you don't have a cast iron skillet at home, any large roasting pan with a lid will work for this dish. Once your pork is done searing, you're going to add your aromatics, which are your carrots and onions. Your aromatics are basically any flavors you want to add to your dish to increase and enhance the flavors that you're trying to get out of it. Okay, so once you know your aromatics, your onions and your carrots are, caramelized and you get the desired consistency you like, go ahead and add 2 diced tomatoes. And these tomatoes are gonna add acidity to your dish. And the acidity to the dish is gonna help break down the meat a little better and cook a little quicker. So once these tomatoes start to cook down a little bit, you're gonna wanna deglaze with veal stock or beef stock. The beef stock is gonna deglaze your pan and get all those good flavors at the bottom of the pan where all your good caramelization came from, and it's gonna add and enhance the flavor of this dish. Once all your stock is added to this dish right here we have today, you're gonna wanna put a lid on it and then pop it into about a 375 to 400 degree oven, and then let it cook roughly about 1 hour to 1.5 hours, or until the pork has an internal temperature of about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, while your pork is braising, now we're gonna go ahead and start our slaw, and here's what you need. You're gonna need zucchini, eggplant, squash, carrots, onions, and that's gonna be your basic slaw mixture. And then for the vinaigrette we're gonna be using today, it's gonna be cane vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pepper. When you're going to cut your vegetables, you wanna get them as thin as possible, and for this recipe, a julienne will suffice, which is 1/8 of an inch wide and 2 inches long. And for these vegetables, if you don't wanna chop them by hand, a box cheese grater on the biggest dial will suffice for the slaw. All these vegetables we're using today you can find at any of your local farmers markets, and using fresh ingredients like this really enhance and change the flavor of a dish, and you'll really be able to tell the difference at the end of the day. Once your vegetables are all cut up in julienne, next step is going to start your vinaigrette that you're going to toss them in. When you go to add your vinaigrette, you do 3 to 4 teaspoons to tablespoons of cane vinegar and then about 1 ounce of olive oil. And then once you add those to the dish, the bowl, you're gonna season it with salt and pepper, and then just whisk it until all of the oils and the vinegar have combined. The reason I'm using cane vinegar in this vinaigrette is because it adds a good acidity to the dish, and it's more of a local ingredient to Louisiana, and I'm more comfortable using it and I'm more familiar with it. Then once they're all combined, you're going to take all your cut vegetables and then toss them in your dressing to make sure they're nice and evenly coated. And then let them sit in the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes to make sure all the flavor gets incorporated into the slaw. All right, so when your pork dish is nice and braised and it's finished, you're gonna wanna take it out of the oven, take it out, you're gonna put it on a cutting board, let it sit for a minute or 2 so the juices won't run out everywhere. Then you're gonna wanna slice it to your desired consistency. Once you're done cutting your pork, you're gonna wanna warm up your tortilla. So once that's warmed up, you're gonna wanna take your tortillas and begin to plate. So you're gonna wanna take your tortilla, lay them down with a little bit of the pork, finish it off with a little bit of your slaw, and then garnish it with a nice lime, a little bit of freshness and acidity to your dish. And the slaw on top of these pork tacos makes it a more healthier and flavorful spin on your traditional tacos. Once again, these are our heart-healthy tacos, which is a braised pork shoulder with a heart-healthy slaw, garnished with a little bit of lime. And my name is Jonathan Drago from the Louisiana Culinary Institute, and this is how we do the two.